Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video here on the SSA Philosophy channel here today, where we dive right on into the philosophy of characters from video games to TV shows to movies, etc., etc. So, of course, in today's video, we're going to be going over the philosophy of the character known as Alejandro. And always, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's go on ahead and get started. So, Alejandro, a name that is synonymous with cunning manipulation and ruthless ambition, is a character who forever changed the landscape of the reality TV parody known as Total Drama. So, of course, debuting in Total Drama World Tour, Alejandro wasn't like, say, your average contestant, but really, Alejandro was a calculated strategist, a smooth talking charmer, and really the show's first antagonist that really you can truly say or could truly be considered, say, a villain, a true villain overall, if that is, if that is, something that suffices. So really unlike the past antagonists, like say Heather, whose meanness stemmed from insecurity, Alejandro, I would say, reveled in his role as like the puppet master, armed with his undeniable charm and repertoire of elaborate schemes. To see he weaseled his way into alliances. He sowed discord amongst competitors and orchestrated eliminations with a chilling efficiency. Now, his primary goal was simple, and that was to win Total Drama and and the coveted $1 million prize by any means necessary. Now, Alejandro's backstory. Now, it is shrouded in mystery because we do learn, snippets about his wealthy upbringing in Latin America and his desire to escape his controlling family. And of course, also, in, Total Drama, All Stars, we also know as well too. Well, even like we're pretty much in World Tour, we do know, bits and pieces overall, like about his brother, his brother named Jose. And of course, we actually even see his brother Jose in Total Drama All Stars as well too. But really, overall, when it comes down to like his family, really, I think what this is like this desire, to escape his family and truth is really is what fuels his ambition and his ruthless tactics. Because really, he's multilingual, he's a skilled dancer, and possesses an uncanny ability to understand people's vulnerabilities. So really, he uses his knowledge to manipulate them for his own gain. Playing on their emotions and their desires with practice ease. So really one of Alejandro's, one of his defining traits is his unwavering confidence because he believes himself to be superior to his competitors, both physically and intellectually. And really this arrogance, however, though, becomes a critical flaw throughout the series because he often underestimates his opponents, particularly underestimated the underestimated. People like, say, Cody and Owen, for example. Now, his main rival throughout the series, who of course is Heather, another cunning player in her own right. Now, really, their dynamic is a highlight of Total Drama World Tour, with their constant scheming and power struggles, providing some of the show's most entertaining moments. And really, despite their rivalry, Alejandro and Heather occasionally from temporary alliances, well, pretty much they occasionally form, temporary alliances, which really is a testament to their pragmatism. So really, Alejandro, his journey pretty much across the Total Drama series, really it's a very fascinating one because he reaches the finale of Total Drama World Tour only to be betrayed by Heather and ultimately defeated. And this defeat, however, though, doesn't really diminish his impact on the show because he does return, like say, in cameos and even like becomes a playable character in spin-off games. And in Total Drama All Stars, he attempts redemption but ultimately reverts to his manipulative ways, solidifying his position as one of the show's most iconic villains. So really, whether you love, pretty much whether you love to hate him or you admire his, strategic brilliance, Alejandro remains a captivating character. One who continues to spark a lot of debate and discussion amongst all Tojama fans. Pretty much one in this case, like, is he like the greatest antagonist of all time in Tojama history? Is he better like antagonist, like say, than Heather? Pretty much in this case. But the thing is, his legacy lies in his ability to elevate the competition, forcing other players to play up their game and showcasing the darker side of reality TV ambition. So of course, without so pretty much with the introduction now all out the way, let's go on ahead and dive into the philosophy of Alejandro. And this is like, and this is what I like to call Alejandro, the Machiavellian Maestro of Manipulation. Now, the thing about Alejandro is that he's not loud, obnoxious, or prone to tantrums, but really because he embodies a philosophy on cunning, manipulation, and the unwavering pursuit of victory. So let's go on ahead and dive into the psyche of the scheming maestro, starting with the first part, which is the art of deception, a mask for every occasion. Now, Alejandro's core tenet is the power of deception. See, he masterfully crafts personas, shifting his charm and demeanor to suit his target. Now, is it a strategic alliance? The thing is, he's loyal, the loyal confidant. Does he need to exploit a weakness? He morphs into like the empathetic friend. And really, with this shape shifting approach, what this does is that this allows him to navigate the social complexities of the game, forming alliances and discarding them like pawns on a chessboard. So Alejandro's true self remains shrouded in mystery because he wields a vast arsenal of personas, seamlessly, like pretty much seamlessly shifting between, a charming gentleman or a goofy sidekick, or even like a damsel in distress, basically, all depending on the situation and the target at hand. Now, this adaptability makes him incredibly difficult to read, leaving his opponents constantly guessing. And really, every interaction for Alejandro is a carefully constructed performance because he tailors his words, his actions, and even emotions to elicit the desired response from his target. So whether it's feigning vulnerability to gain sympathy or crafting a sob story to deflect blame, the thing about Alejandro is that he understands the power of a well played performance. And Alejandro, like he is a master of deception, no doubt about that. Because he uses lies strategically, by the way, which basically is him weaving intricate webs of misinformation to manipulate other people. Because he understands that a well placed lie can sow discord and create distrust and ultimately pave the way for his victory. Now, the thing about Alejandro is that the game isn't really about short term gains because he revels in the elaborate long con, meticulously, building trust and rapport, before, like, say, delivering the final devastating blow. And this patience and strategic thinking make him a formidable opponent. However, though, it is, of course, important to remember that this part of his philosophy is a double edged sword because while deception it can be a powerful tool, it can also lead to isolation and distrust. And his constant manipulation, it might backfire, leaving him with no true allies when he needs them most. And it kind of overall goes down like say with Heather as well too. Like, either Heather, I would say the difference, I guess, in the sense with like Heather and Alejandro is the fact that Heather, like in the first season total drama, like she immediately overall, literally showed exactly, who she was and wasn't really afraid to show that side of her. So the thing about total drama island, like people they knew who Heather's personality. I mean, they knew what her personality was. But Alejandro, though, on the other hand, Alejandro, he was like unpredictable. Like he was very like unpredictable of a character that you really couldn't find out. Like, I mean, now we all knew, watching, through our own eyes, through our own lens, what kind of person Alejandro was. But for all the other players in the game who didn't know much about his character, I mean, even like Sierra's a crazy super fan, who knows everything about everyone, but she couldn't find really much about Alejandro, which made Alejandro like say a very like say very interesting antagonist, and also what really got him say to be getting away a lot of times with having to deceive people so much. So yeah, so really the thing I would say overall is that even though he's very smart and he's very like say a great strategist. At the same time, though, with him deceiving people, especially like how he did to like like a lot of women in World Tour, pretty much what that simply did was is that overall it is like say a strategy of his that he used, which it did help him, yes, but at the same time though, that kind of like say play style definitely overall will leave him with nobody that will be like a true ally to him when he like needs him the most. So pretty much, I kind of want to just kind of point that out first and foremost. Between the, like the differences between the characters themselves, really, between Heather and Alejandro. So, of course. And also another part, that we want to focus on is morality, a flexible concept. Now, Alejandro's philosophy really it rejects the conventional morality because he views emotions and empathy as tools, not virtues. Like if it's like pretty much in this case, if a strategic betrayal wins the game, then so be it. And really, this ruthlessness is evident, like say in his treatment of protagonists, like say like Heather or even like Gwen, for instance, or even like other ones, like say like Courtney. The thing is, like he respects their skills, but he has no qualms about like using their vulnerabilities against them. So Alejandro, like he would argue that morality is a social construct, a way for the weak to restrict the powerful. The thing is, like he uses charm and likability to manipulate those around him, betraying a kind and caring facade while secretly plotting their downfall. But Alejandro, though, for him, morality. See, the thing about for him is that morality is a performance, a play that he acts in to get ahead. And Alejandro, like he wouldn't lose sleep, over like a broken promise or a little betrayal. Like really, he sees emotions like guilt and empathy as weaknesses to be exploited. Making alliances really for him is simply just stats. It's simply just a strategic move in his pretty much in his grand game of winning total drama. Because once they serve their purpose, those alliances are easily discarded. And the thing about Alejandro is that he epitomizes the idea that the ends justify the means because he has no qualms about using underhanded tactics to get what he wants. Whether it's sabotaging, challenges or forming secret alliances, he believes that any action is permissible as long as it leads him to victory. Now, another point we want to focus on in Alejandro's philosophy is the ends, of course, justify the means, a pragmatic path to victory. Now, Alejandro's philosophy, really, it is one of unwavering pragmatism because he prioritizes victory above all else. So, like, if lying, cheating, and backstabbing are the keys to winning, then those are the tools that he wields. Now, this cold efficiency really it grants him a strategic edge, allowing him to anticipate and outmaneuver his opponents. So, Alejandro, like, he craves victory. For him, it's the validation, it's the fame and the power that comes with being the champion. So for him, second place is a humiliating defeat, and anything less is utter failure. And honestly, I do believe that this also, like, is like another, like, say, part that even like stems from the fact and why, he is, not like say overall, like say, like on the best, like say terms of his relationship, like with his brother, like Jose, because Jose, as he said before, was better than pretty much was better than him, like pretty much in almost like everything, honestly. And that's why Alejandro has so much like say hatred, for his own brother because for him, him placing second place, like basically Alejandro, basically with Jose being better like in everything than he is, basically it's like, his brother Jose is in first place, meaning that Jose is the person that gets that validation, the fame, and the power that comes with being the champion. And for him, with him being second place, to his own brother, is humiliating. It's humiliating for him, and anything less is utter failure. And that's pretty much like another reason and why he probably came to Toe Drama in the first place because the reason why overall he took that opportunity and took that chance to do so is because of that, because of his brother, his family, all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, like Alejandro, like he views emotions, as messy weaknesses because he calculates, he manipulates, and he throws out whatever feelings that might cloud his path to winning. Because compassion and empathy, all those mushy things, that's what he thinks of them as mushy things. Like they're just tools to be used, not genuine emotions that hinder victory. And the thing is that, maybe lying, cheating, and backstabbing are frowned upon. But for him, he believes his victory is for the greater good of himself, obviously. So he might see himself as the mastermind who deserves to win. And anyone who gets in his way is just that collateral damage. And the challenges on Total Drama are constantly changing. And Alejandro thrives on that. He thrives when it comes to having to like adapt to whatever challenges overall that Toe Drama throws at him. And I think and that's the thing. Like he's flexible, he's ruthless, and he'll switch tactics in a heartbeat if it means getting closer to the $1 million prize. And also another point I want to focus on in Alejandro's philosophy is the flaw in the facade, the craving for recognition. So the thing is that despite his strategic, pretty much despite his strategic prowess, the thing is that his philosophy it does have a critical flaw because I would say that his insatiable desire for recognition is his critical flaw. Because the thing is this: like he craves not just the victory, but to be acknowledged as the superior player. And this need for validation it can cloud his judgment, leading him to make risky moves to prove his dominance. So really, Alejandro's entire being is meticulously constructed to project an image of flawlessness because he's multilingual, he's well versed in various cultures, and he possesses an undeniable charisma. And what this facade serves, because see, this facade it serves a dual purpose, to gain the admiration of others and to intimidate potential threats. However, beneath this polished exterior lies a gnawing insecurity. And the thing is that Alejandro, like his relentless. Now the thing is that his relentless pursuit of victory and manipulation, it stems from his insatiable desire for recognition because he craves pretty much to be, like in this case, to be acknowledged as like say this superior player, the ultimate strategist. And this hunger for validation, it likely stems from a deeper void, a place where genuine self worth is lacking. And his confidence is also a meticulously crafted illusion, and external validation becomes a desperate attempt to fill that gap. So his manipulative tactics, so really Alejandro, like his manipulative tactics, while initially are successful, ultimately lead to his downfall because his constant scheming isolates him from a genuine connections, leaving him surrounded by pawns and temporary allies. And really, the very recognition he craves becomes tainted as it's built on fear and distrust rather than respect. And really, as the facade, as it crumbles, his vulnerability is exposed because his desperation for validation becomes a weakness that his own opponents can exploit. And this vulnerability is a vital part of Alejandro's character, reminding us that even the most cunning manipulator can be undone by their own insecurities. And also, another part of focus in in this philosophy of Alejandro is, well, pretty much Alejandro, a cautionary tale, really, honestly. So the thing is, is that while his cunning is undeniable, his disregard for, genuine connection and his thirst for and really his thirst for recognition ultimately is what hinders him. Because true victory, perhaps, it lies not just in winning the game, but in the connections forged along the way. Now, Alejandro, the master manipulator, remains a fascinating enigma, a villain who forces us to question the nature of deception, morality, and the true meaning of victory. So the thing is that really, I would say like Alejandro's primary philosophy, really, it seems heavily influenced by Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince, because he prioritizes winning at all costs, justifying manipulation, deceit, and even betrayal as necessary tools. And really, he masterfully crafts alliances only to discard them when convenient. And this strategy, it might lead to short-term success, but what it does is that it breeds distrust and ultimately it isolates him. So the thing about Alejandro, his charm is a weapon. He uses his good looks and charisma to gain trust and manipulate other people. And this highlights the dangers of, superficiality. While charm, it can be a valuable asset, relying solely on it creates a foundation built on sand. So when the mask slips, as it inevitably does, genuine connections are absent, leaving only a trail of hurt feelings and broken promises. So really, Alejandro, like his obsession with winning the $1 million prize, it really transcends the money itself, I believe, because really, I believe what it represents is that it represents a power that he craves because This insatiable hunger for power can be destructive because it clouds judgment, leading to ruthless behavior and a disregard for the well being of other people. So, true power, however, often lies in building genuine connections and fostering respect. So, Alejandro, like his constant manipulation, it breeds paranoia because he lives in constant fear of being exposed, self inflicted prison, basically. And this distrust isolates him, and prevents him from forming genuine bonds. So really, he sacrifices the joy of, camaraderie and an authentic connection for the fleeting illusion of control. So really, I would say the downfall of Alejandro basically is this, pretty much this part of his philosophy is what leads him to his downfall because the thing is, his web of lies unravels, leaving him ostracized and defeated. And this serves as a stark reminder that manipulation may provide temporary gains, but trust is the cornerstone of lasting success. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that of course is the conclusion here today of this video. So the thing is, overall, is that Alejandro, like his charm and good looks, mask a calculating mind because he excels at playing the hero while expertly pulling the strings behind the scenes. So he massively forms alliances, he manipulates emotions and exploits weaknesses to orchestrate the downfall of his opponents. So really his strategic prowess is undeniable, which makes him a very formidable competitor. Now, however, though, his ruthless tactics often border on cruelty because he takes sadistic pleasure in tormenting other people in the contest, particularly Owen, and even shows a blatant disregard for their well-being. And his ambition is fueled by a desire for power and self-gratification rather than like any genuine goal. So really, this darkness, really, it fuels the debate about Alejandro's motivations. Thing is that is he purely sadistic, or is there something more? And really, it hints suggest a past, that shaped his personality. Some fans, theorize a childhood of neglect or manipulation that filled his need for control. And like I said, mainly, like I said, his family, really something to do had it, and really something that had to like I guess make Alejandro the person that he was when he came into the drama had to be that. Had to be like something with his family, and like his brother. So yeah, something had to be done because of that. And I do believe overall that there was something overall that, like when it came to Alejandro's family that made him the person that he came to be, when World Tour became, pretty much when Told Drama World Tour had came on the scene. So the thing is that, you know, others, see it like a desperate need for validation, masked by his arrogance. But the thing is, though, is that the show leaves these questions unanswered, which adds another layer of his intrigue, pretty much what adds another layer of intrigue, to his character. So really, and ultimately though, Alejandro's return. Now his return as a contestant in All Stars pretty much it proves to be his undoing because his arrogance blinds him to the rise of a new villain, which of course that new villain of course became, Mao, who of course is uh another personality of another character from Told Drama Revenge of the Island known as Mike, who has, dissociative identity disorder. Also in this case, we can call, multiple personality disorder basically. So yeah, so pretty much, and so yeah, so pretty much pretty much his tactics, manipulation tactics backfire spectacularly. So the thing is, Alejandro, like he's eliminated early in the game, which really honestly I would say is a stark contrast to his previous dominance because this downfall can be seen as a satisfying conclusion to his villainous arc. Or, really, or I would say a tragic misstep for a character with so much potential. And honestly, I'll be honest, like All Stars definitely was like that season that really like ruined a lot of characters. Like, I mean, not only like characters like, that made characters like Gwen, Courtney, and Duncan, like, like pretty much made their characters worse over time, but like even characters like Alejandro and even Heather. I mean, even like freaking Lindsay. I mean, I know Lindsay was, always like known to be like the dumb blonde stereotype, but at the same time, I mean, they really had to make her that dumb to the point where she can't even push a stroller or don't even know how to push one correctly. Like, yeah, All Stars definitely overall is the worst season. Like, no question about that. In my opinion, it's the worst season. You know, But the thing is, though, is that even despite that, the thing is that even despite all those things, Alejandro still remains a captivating character in the Total Drama universe because his manipulative brilliance, his questionable morals, and ambiguous fate continue to spark discussion and debate. So whether he's admired for his strategic prowess or reviled for his villainy, the thing about Alejandro is that his undeniable impact on the show solidifies his place as truly a memorable antagonist. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, that of course is the end of this video here today. So, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you have stayed this far and watching this video, I really do appreciate it. I really do enjoy that. If you watch my content all this far as of late, I appreciate it. I really love you all for it. I really do. It means a lot to me. So, so overall, don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe for more explorations into the minds of your favorite characters. And also to hit the notification bell to also stay updated on my latest videos as well, too. But all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is the video. So, of course, I hope you all have a beautiful, blissful, and wonderful day. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, as always remember to always be smooth, to always be steady, and to always be aggressive. Peace.